Welcome to End of Life Conversations and Reflections. Today, my special guest is Anne, and I want to share her story with you guys because she is so inspiring and has come a long way in her journey. And every time I meet her, I am just in awe of what she's been through. And so I want to talk a little bit about Anne, and then she's going to share her story. In 2002, Anne had checked herself into a rehab center because of a substance use disorder. However, the next day, she had to be admitted to the hospital because she had brain damage due to some of the drugs she had consumed. She ended up in ICU, but does not recall how she got there. Since then, Anne has made a miraculous recovery, proving to her doctors and everyone around her that nothing is impossible. Anne was told she would never walk again, but Anne is more than walking. She's competing in bodybuilding competitions and teaching yoga. She shines her light and courage wherever she goes and empowers others through her practice of yoga and fitness. Since this life-altering experience, Anne has tapped into other abilities, and she helps others through energy healing and card readings. So it is my utmost pleasure to welcome Anne today. Thank you, Anne, for taking time to do this interview.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. So Anne, tell us what happened when you were in the ICU.
When I was in the ICU, I can hear everything. I cannot respond. So when you touch me, I can feel everything too. And I had two nurses. My hair was very long, so I had to be cut because they can't manage it, right? So I heard the nurse cutting my hair and wanting to color it red. And at that time, you know, I hear everything. I just can't respond, but I'm telling myself, get up, because my hair means a lot to me, right? So I was trapped in my body, but somehow I'm like, get up. And I found myself out of my body, but I'm up on like the ceiling looking down, and I see them sweep my hair. And then from that time on, I started like astral traveling, like flying through it, and the walls are invisible. So I'm up on sky, and I look down, and you know, apartments have those blueprints, right?
Yeah.
You can see floor plan. I can see all the floor plan, right? And I can see people in the section of the place, and it's like I fly through the walls, you know. Wow. It's flying through walls. And you know, when I was up there, there's no attachments, there is no emotions, you're just free. You're wow. So free. And I didn't want to come back, but then I would say creator, God, higher source, sent the animal, the cougar, right? The cougar to come see me. So I'm up in the sky, well, not the sky, but up there, and I'm looking down. I see the cougar, and the cougar is very slow, stalking for its prey. And I knew that it was looking for me.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, when it finally found me, it looked at me in the eyes, and I felt this electrical current that was inside my body, from going inside my body all the way out through my veins, like all over my body. It felt like it was regenerating my cells, you know. Wow. And the cougar was meant to give me strength. The cougar was meant to bring you back into my body, because not long after I woke up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I woke up not long after that.
That's amazing.
And after,
go ahead.
After I woke up, you know, even though I can't respond, I can hear everything. You know, the only thing that I could do was just blink my eyes. I was basically paralyzed. You know, I couldn't speak. I couldn't do anything. I was in diapers. I couldn't walk, nothing. So I was the loneliest part of my life was during that time, because I have not one single person to talk to. There's nobody I can talk to, because I couldn't talk. I
Wow.
couldn't do sign language or anything. There's no one. And hearing the doctor saying that I would never walk again, even I would have the intelligence of a 2-year-old child, so I lost the will to even live. I refused therapy, any kind of therapy. I didn't want to do anything, even though, I'm alive, like I'm back into my body in this physical, physical realm.
Yeah.
And so my mom gave me a shower, and I was in a wheelchair. There's a lap tray. She's giving me a shower, and all of a sudden my head went down. And when my head went down, it was like somebody turned off the light. Like there's no light. I didn't see no light or anything. But I felt my soul coming out of my body, and it was coming up out of my body and floating away. And I knew I was leaving.
Wow.
And it was like I was floating away. My mom, I can hear my mom's voice. And she started crying. And she said, Anne, you can't leave me. You're my only daughter. You can't leave me like this. Even though I cannot see, I can hear her voice. I can feel her tears. And it's something inside me. Our mind is so powerful. When we make up the decision for ourselves, anything is possible. So the moment when I made up my mind and thought that I cannot leave my mom like this, there's no way I can leave her because she's my mom. I don't want to hurt. So the moment I made that decision, I was being pulled back into my body.
Wow.
So I was being pulled back into my body. It was like I floated back into my body. So I'm up here, and then I went into my body, and I lifted my head up. I looked at my mom. I will never forget how she looked like, how much tears she had. To this day, I told my mom, he gave me life twice. He gave birth to me, and he called me back.
Wow.
If she had not called me back, if it was somebody else that called me back, I wouldn't have came back, because there is no emotional connection. If it's somebody else that's calling back, who are you to me? How I don't care about you. I'm not going to come back. But if it's my mom,
Right.
that emotional connection, that bond.
Wow. That's so powerful. So when you were above yourself, like you said, you were up there, could you see yourself? Like, could you see your body?
No, the light was off. Remember how, like I said, the light was turned off? It's like somebody, the light was completely off. I know I've heard stories where some people see the light. For me, I did not see the light. And I do believe, because some people say that when things happened, and there's unfinished business, or it happens suddenly, your spirit lingers and stay here, become a spirit, because you're kind of lost. And I think I was there, right? I didn't see the light. So one thing I do know is that when we leave our body, when it's our time to go, we still exist, because I left my body.
Yeah.
There is no attachment.
Yeah.
We are so free. We do not feel the third dimension, all these fears, the pain, the sadness, the grief. We don't feel any of that.
It's beautiful. Yeah. And then what happened? Like, you recovered beautifully, like you were told you're not going to be able to walk. And then what was the drive to live your life and to become a bodybuilder and teach yoga? Like, how did you navigate that, and what drove you to want to become like to build your body up that much and have that strength?
You know, when you hit rock bottom, I have the opportunity to leave. I didn't leave. I made the choice to come back, and I did come back. And when I came back, I started doing the physio and everything, but something in you switches because you have nowhere to go. You hit rock bottom. The only way to go is to go up. You have nothing to lose. You didn't take the way out. You have only one choice, is to go up. And you just keep on doing what you can. You, instead of thinking about the future, whatever, you do the best you can at that moment. But instead of thinking negative, you think positive. And when you think, there is no blocks. The only person that's blocking you is yourself and your mind. You have the choice to make it positive or the negative.
Right.
Right?
So you used substances in the past. And what happened that you didn't have that, you didn't want to go there again? Like, something shifted obviously within you to not need that anymore. Like, can you articulate that? What happened within you that you're like, I'm not, that lifestyle's not for me. I'm not gonna use substances anymore.
It's finding a faith. You know, finding a faith and belief, because actually, you know, the thing is, when I actually started getting better, I actually fell into a dark spot where I started losing hope again. I was losing my faith. So I actually did end up using again.
Okay.
I did end up using again. And then my parents found me and my mom's like, why are you doing this? And I said, I want to die, but I don't know how to. This is the only way I know how to check out, you know? And she called the GF Strong, the rehab center, got in touch with the drug and alcohol counselor. So they brought me, they made arrangements to bring me to detox. And I got in right away. There was no waiting list, just because of I already had brain damage from, you know, I was a special case. So I got in right away. They did not waste any time. The moment I was out of detox, they made arrangements that I was right away going to recovery house admission for 3 months. But by going there, and I had Bible study on Thursday, I went to church on Sunday, I found faith and belief. So, and I find that very important to have some kind of faith and belief. It doesn't have to be religious, but that is what gives you hope.
Yeah.
But you can, because you can really lose that. Even though I had that, you know, that chance, I got better, but I still went down the rabbit hole. But after that, that second time, I never went there ever again. It's having that hope and faith, believing in something. Higher power doesn't have to be religious, but you gotta have the faith and belief. Even if you're not believing something, believe in yourself, something that gives you that how do you say it? That gives you that strength.
Yeah. It's incredible, Lan. That's amazing. Yeah, so what I think it sounds like, it wasn't like a smooth journey. You had some ups and downs. And so it's not about being perfect. It's about knowing that even when you fall down, that you can get back up. And so if there's anyone out there struggling with those issues, like, what would you like to say to them?
Anyone struggling with the issues, I find you need a strong support system.
Yeah.
a strong support system. So for me, when I was in the recovery, the support system was going to church, going to the meetings, the NA meetings, the AA meetings, because you have that support system there. But you also have this strong boundary to know who is going to support you, lift you up, or who is there that might bring you down. Because there's some people who can relapse and you don't want them to drag you down either.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what's life looking like now, and what are your hopes for the future? Like, I know you're doing all this amazing work. So tell us a little bit about that, the energy work and the cards and the yoga. Tell us a little bit about life now.
Life now, if I didn't have this experience, I wouldn't be where I am now. And I've never thought that I would live a life like this, where it's completely different from what I did before. And I knew, like, when I survived, there was something at that time. I knew that there was a reason why I'm here. I was meant to help, to do something, but at that time, I don't know what my purpose was. And but I believe my purpose, I'm living my purpose now. And my purpose now is to help people connect to their body, but not just physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, because we need to work in the beginning with yoga. It's physical, right? But as you go into it deeper, it becomes more spiritual, because you become more observing, you observe and you're more aware of your body. So you tune inwards. And then when you start tuning inwards, things start opening up. But yoga is not just a practice. Yoga is everything.
Yeah. It's amazing. And tell us where you're teaching now, and how can people get a hold of you if they need to kind of walk through this journey or need some advice or support from you. How do they reach out to you? I'll put it in the description as well, but yeah.
Right now I'm teaching at the yoga bar. So I teach deep stretch, 26 into hot yoga. I can't think right now. Arms are like that. So there's actually a lot of classes that I teach, and I can also sub too. So it's best to go on the website. And my favorite class to teach is actually deep stretch, because I do a little bit of sound healing, and restorative aerial with the sound bath.
Okay, great. And you also do some readings with energy work. So if someone wanted to contact you for support, I'll put your connection, your contact information in the description, because I feel like a lot of people can benefit from connecting with you.
Mhm.
And just so grateful for you, for meeting you and learning about your story. And anyone that is struggling and needs support, like, Anne is there. She reach out to her. She does some, private healings and readings for people. So I'll reach out to her for support if you need.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anne.